But before we get out of here, let's do one more segment this week, and that's something I learned. And Cedric, I'm learning a lot about college admissions this week, and I know people might be saying, hold on, this is a sports show. What are you talking about college admissions in general for? Well, that's because the FBI announced the end of an investigation, some indictments, some charges that are out there relating to college admissions and bribery, and college coaches are involved with this, Cedric. It's a crazy tale. It hits close to home for you in Austin because at least one coach involved is a Texas coach, or now former, the tennis coach there. This is a crazy situation, but I guess maybe after the college basketball scandal that broke a couple years ago, maybe we shouldn't be surprised at all this, but still, what's the talk? What's the vibe about all this, especially as it relates in a place where somebody's involved in all of this?
Well, you know, I miss the good old days when the boosters from these big time programs would show up with a bag of money.
Right.
The players got to get the money, and now coaches are accepting bags.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had come to that. So here in Austin, the tennis coach, Michael Center, is alleged to have taken $100,000 in bribes, including $60,000 in a hotel parking lot, so he could pass off a would-be student as a tennis recruit. So the scam part of it is, besides the bribe, is he would sign him to the tennis team. The kid quit the team and then just went about his business as a Texas student. The end game was just to get into the University of Texas, never even planning to play tennis. So it goes all the way up to this multi-billion-dollar corporation, this Key Foundation, where the ringleader, William Singer, I think that's
right. Yep.
Is alleged to have received millions and millions of dollars in bribes from all over the country, including Lori Loughlin from Full House. That's Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky. Oh my gosh.
And William H. Macy, the Cooler, who's been in a lot of Coen brother movies. So I am shocked. The Texas tennis coach is no longer the Texas tennis coach. Yeah. He got fired yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of other big names are going to come out as this investigation goes on. Just a blockbuster story nationally.
It is, and again, on the heels of that college basketball scandal that broke with the payments to induce recruits and the shoe companies, and those obviously are cases that are now being played out in court and people found guilty. So it's just, to me, when you talk about what did I learn from all this, I mean, we all know that people out there, you know, with money and privilege are trying to use that to better their situation. But to have coaches involved in, you know, making a kid out to be a recruit when they aren't, taking, you know, Cedric, that number of $60,000 getting paid in a hotel parking lot. I mean, that's
how crazy is that? It's
crazy to me. I mean, how does that even happen? Do you have do you have a briefcase of money that somebody walks in with and it's just, to me, it's crazy stuff. It feels like it's not possible, but it's a reminder to me through both of these FBI investigations just how big the money is in college athletics. It's a reminder. I maybe didn't learn that, but you also have to think about the fact that when the NCAA is out there trying to regulate college athletics, it's really impossible. I mean, Cedric, it's impossible that the NCAA could know about all of this. Some of the stuff, the shoe companies and the basketball teams and, you know, all of that, I mean, I think everybody thinks, well, surely the NCAA was aware that there's some dirty dealings out there. But now you're talking about rowing coaches and tennis coaches and you know, these sports that aren't revenue generating at most schools. The NCAA doesn't have the bandwidth to go out and try to figure out who's taking 60 grand in a hotel parking lot. Cedric, it just, to me, it speaks to just how difficult a job that is. And what's the NCAA supposed to do? I mean, I don't know how you monitor all of this, how you regulate all this. I really don't think you can.
You cannot. And what it also sends a message to me is rich people think they can get away with anything, man.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like they're kids. Lori Loughlin's kids or William H. Macy's kids. It's not like they didn't already have advantages in life. I think Lori Loughlin, I read, spent $500,000 to try to get her daughters into USC.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been cheaper to just get a tutor, I would think. But here's where the rubber meets the road to me. Not only did that happen, but one of the daughters was on a TMZ video talking about, well, I really didn't want to go to school. I'm going to Fiji next week, and I don't really care about class. Why should she? She's never had to lift a finger to do a day of hard work in her life. So the entitled have been allowed to move along under the radar, paying these massive amounts of money to this shady guy to ensure that their kids get into these prestigious schools so they can maintain their social standing. It's disgusting, and I gotta tell you, it was kind of refreshing to see some rich people going to jail for a change for breaking laws. I think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think there are going to be more names that come out, and I'm just going to be sitting back and enjoying the show because Full House was a pretty good show. This reality television is a lot better.
Hey, there's Fuller House now, which you got to wonder, is that on the ropes if Aunt Becky can't be in the show? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they can shoot her from a jail cell. That'd be great.
Somebody, I actually saw something today that there was an episode of Full House back in the day that Aunt Becky gave Uncle Jesse a really hard time for fibbing on their little kid's application to preschool or something. The irony is thick, Cedric. It's thick, I say. But yeah, this whole thing is, I mean, it has to make everybody involved with college athletics, whether you're an athletic director, whether you're a non-revenue sport administrator, whether you're the president of the NCAA, everybody has to be taking stock of things right now because this is just another layer of scandal, of undermining the system, big money. I mean, all of these things that people really lament about causing problems in college athletics just continues to pile up. And I said earlier, I don't know how the NCAA monitors it, but they're going to have to figure out ways to continue to keep, increasing levels of security on their coaches, on their athletes, on their teams to try to avoid this. And, frankly, now that the FBI is interested in the level of money that's out there, I don't think this, Cedric, in the same way you said, I don't think this is the last of the names that are going to be implicated. I'm not sure this is the last of the investigations that we're going to see out there involving college athletics. We may be talking about these sorts of things for many years to come if you've got the feds involved in looking at college athletics now. Lots out there yet to be decided. We'll continue to follow it here. But that's it for the Writer's Block. Hey, Ced, thanks for joining us again this week.
Well, you know what? One last thought. The feds really hit a home run on this one. They couldn't tell me who killed Biggie or Tupac, but at least they're making some high-profile arrests. I like it.
Getting the Texas tennis coach out on his keister. All right, we'll see what happens next with that. Thanks for joining us on the Writer's Block. We'll see you next week.